Biden and Trump both visited the border yesterday. Biden. They both visited the border yesterday, right? And they both did speeches. Well, there's no point in me talking about it. Let me go ahead and bring you guys up to speed of what's happening. This is a general idea of Border Patrol first reacting to the Biden administration coming into a city or coming down to the border to view what's going on. And then we're going to get a little bit of a preview of what Biden said. Hopefully we can get the cliff notes because he talks really slow. But we're going to get there. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Also, Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift, or a free, continuously 30% off your first order or your order in general. And then make sure y'all tab into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
That activist rally, but someone that was also not invited at the roundtable discussion to meet with the president was the National Border Patrol Council. Now, they are the union that represents the Border Patrol agents on the line. Now, I was able to speak to the vice president, who's been an agent for 22 years, and he tells me he has mixed emotions about the lack of an invitation with the president.
It's kind of mixed emotions. It's good that the president's finally coming down. Too bad it wasn't this time last year or 3 years ago when everything kind of went crazy, but I guess better late than never.
It's been a busy year. Already in fiscal year 2024, Border Patrol has encountered over 1,230,000 people illegally entering the country.
And that's just the ones that we're able to document. That doesn't include the ones that got over here and was just walking around aimlessly, and then they wound up finding the city that they wanted to go to. But that's just the ones that we documented. Millions of illegal immigrants into this country.
But even with these large numbers, agents are now seeing a slight decrease in apprehensions.
This area last year, we were seeing thousands a day just in this area. I think yesterday we saw 12. So, the state of Texas has done a pretty good job of shutting this area down. It would have been good maybe if he's in here to talk to representatives of the state of Texas to figure out what needs to be done along the rest of the border.
But the dip in numbers, Cabrera says, is due to the work the state of Texas has done, like Senate Bill 4,
I hear you, Carlos.
Not the work of the federal government.
Take this fight to these organizations and assume operational control.
I think it has a lot to do with what the state of Texas, most notably the border czar, Mike Banks, has done down here. Texas is slowing down from Brownsville all the way to El Paso, but it's still busy in Arizona and San Diego. So you can't say it's any other outside factors other than the state of Texas.
But see, that's the key though, is that it's not that they're coming in any less. It's just that they're coming in less in Texas because Texas is doing what it's supposed to do. But California and Arizona are still both liberal states that is opening their borders because they are not protecting their borders the same way that Governor Greg Abbott is, but they're still continuing to allow for people to come into this country illegally. And you can figure that out, and you can find that on TikTok.
Notably absent from today's presidential visit is Governor Greg Abbott.
I think it shows that the federal government has failed on the border issues.
And it's an issue that's impacting the entire country. Just last week, 22-year-old Georgia nursing student Laken Riley was murdered by a man who was illegally in the country from Venezuela. Records show he crossed illegally from El Paso.
It's happened in our area before with Border Patrol agent Javier Vega was killed by some illegals. You had people out in California. I mean, it's an endless list, and it's going to continue to grow until people wake up and realize that not everybody coming across is a criminal, but not everybody coming across has well intentions either.
Now, Cabrera says agents will continue to do their job regardless of who's in office and who's visiting the valley.
Hopefully things will turn around soon. I mean, I hate to see it get much worse. I don't know if it can get much worse, but
isn't it funny that of all the people that Biden invited to the table for a photo op, that they completely left out the very ones that protect our border? I'm to the point now in my life to where I don't need no more photo ops. I don't want to take no more pictures. I'm 41 years old. We like that in Detroit anyway, to be honest with you. We not really big on, let me get a picture with you, fam. I seen, and shout out to Mr. Chime Time. I actually plan on doing a little bit of review on him because he lived here in Detroit for the last 3 months, documenting the culture and the food scene, and he had a really, really great review of what he found to be a dope city that most people are not familiar with, but we're going to talk about that on After Hours. Before he even got to the city, I ran into him at the airport, flying into the city. I didn't even know who he was. My daughter, no, not my daughter, Rita, because she's familiar with everybody. She was like, oh, that's Chime Time. So we both were sitting in the line next to each other. He was having problems getting through TSA pre-check and all of that stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. That's what's up. And I just kept about my way. The professor, listen to this. Watch this. The professor says, Anton, how come you're not talking about the border bill that's in Congress right now will solve the problems? Why are you not talking about that, my brother? We don't need a border bill to solve the problems. We just need you to do what you're supposed to do, and that's what's in the Constitution. Nobody is asking you to do anything across bipartisan lines to cross over. That's an American right. That's like doing your job. That's like asking me, if I got a job, right, and I'm on fries, or I'm supposed to go into the restaurant, and you say, Anton, get on the fries today. I shouldn't have to negotiate doing my job if I'm being paid and I'm elected by the people to do the job, and that was in the job description. What are you talking about? That's supposed to be your reasonable service. We supposed to have secure borders. You shouldn't have to negotiate and leverage getting more money for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan in order to protect the borders. When did we start negotiating protecting our borders, the basics of protecting a border? So we got to go and get to Congress in order to make sure that we safe on American soil? Maybe we should negotiate for making sure that we got a military too while we at it. Or maybe we should negotiate about having police. You mean a border bill? It's like being an adult and taking a shower. Supposed to protect you, the president of the United States of America. You're instructing border agents to let people inside of the country illegally. What are we talking about? You tried to block Texas. I'm lying to your face. You don't even have a real avatar. You look like an alien on your avatar. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. What's wrong with these people? I would imagine that you, sir, or ma'am, or maybe I need to ask you what you identify as, and what's your pronouns, she, sir, zim, whoever you are, my friend, the professor. What am I lying at? I'm lying that that's supposed to be a reasonable service for us to be able to protect our borders? Well, let's see what Biden had to say about it yesterday. Since we got to get a bill passed through Congress for us to do something that's already on the books for us to do. That's why they got Border Patrol agents. Don't you know that both Obama and Trump, Obama deported more illegal immigrants out of this country than any other president in our lifetime. Even Obama did his job. I got to give him that much at least. Obama got more people that was in here illegally out of here, while Biden was literally his vice president, but we sitting here having a conversation about whether or not you should protect the borders and why we got to have a bill that's in place to do so.
I thank thanked him for the passport into his district, but he's been a great partner. I also want to thank Mayor Cowan for his partnership, and I want to thank County Judge Trevino for over 30 local officials.
And let me also say, y'all got to stop hitting me with that "my brother black man." Man, don't you know that I don't care nothing about that? Listen, why are y'all calling me y'all brother? I'm not your brother. Why is it because I'm black? Boy, don't you know that you the first person that I'm going to call the police on when I see you doing something you're not supposed to be doing? Before we get to this Biden speech, let me help you to understand something. We not brothers. Jesus said your brother is the one that's taking this journey with you in Christ. He said, divest yourself from your family. Leave them and walk with me. Leave them and walk with me. What makes y'all think we not brothers? What's going on, black man? Like, I don't even want to be called black man. What do you mean black? That's a color. That don't define me. I'm not your brother, man. You talking to the wrong one over here, big dog. Anton rock with people based off of character and going in the direction that he going in. Shout out to my chasers. What's up, my brother? And ain't it funny that you only they brother? That you only they brother as long as you align with the black agenda? Brother from another mother. Man. Let's continue. Don't get me started. You know, it's Friday. I feel like Friday after 12 o'clock, we can start cussing. So, neither here nor there. I might have to speed this speech up because I know he talk a little slower than usual.
Here today, no one works harder for a safe, secure border than all of you. And Secretary Mayorkas has joined us today, and he's joined by 7 mayors in cities and towns across South Texas. 4 county judges here from across the state. I told the county judge that I used to be a county official. It's the hardest job in American politics. You know why? They think you can do everything, you don't have the budget. So anyway.
He's so corny. Was that a pre-planned joke? God, man, just stick to the issues.
And the 2 leaders from the Texas legislature, State House Leader Trey's here, Trey Martinez Fisher, and the State Senate Leader Carol Alvadero. And all the other local officials that are here today, I want to say thanks. Folks, it's real simple. It's time to act. It's long past time to act. I just received a briefing from the Border Patrol at the border, as well as Immigration and Enforcement, asylum officers, and they're all doing incredible work under really tough conditions. Really tough conditions. They told me what you already know, and we already know. They desperately need more resources. Say it again, they desperately need more resources. They need more agents, more officers, more judges, more equipment in order to secure our border. Folks, it's time for us to move on this. We can't wait any longer. Folks, on my first day as president, I introduced a bill I sent to Congress, a comprehensive plan to fix the broken immigration system and to secure the border. But no action was taken. Then months ago, my team began a serious negotiation in a bipartisan group of senators, leading conservative Republicans and progressive Democrats. And it resulted in a compromise bill. It's the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen in this country. It's pretty basic. With this deal, we could hire 1,500 additional border security agents, 1,500 additional officers, and between ports of entry. For the last 4 years, staffing has been roughly that, just flat. Agents working overtime, spending long hours patrolling the border, making major sacrifices. And I know it takes a big toll on them and their families. That's why in December I signed a bill finally getting Border Patrol agents what I've been pushed by and reminded by the congressman, overtime pay they deserve. Finally getting overtime pay. I mean, it's ridiculous it took this long. It was a long past time, and I was proud to do it. But we need to do more. It's time to step up. It's time to step up. Provide them with significantly more personnel and capability. We also need more immigration judges to help handle the backlog. There are 2 million cases. Backlog of 2 million cases. This bipartisan deal would provide funding for 100 more immigration judges immediately. It would also establish new, efficient, and fair.
Give me a second. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Give me a second. I just want to make sure that we not speak with forked tongue here. Please don't speak with forked tongue. Let's see if we can figure it out.
We have breaking news tonight on our southern border, where the Biden administration now has reportedly approved a plan to complete a section of border wall near Yuma, Arizona. Now, this comes as Biden's border disaster is getting worse by the day. But Joey himself, remember, he said during the campaign he'd never build another foot of Trump's wall. Take a look.
Trump campaigned on build that wall. Are you willing to tear that wall down?
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
Now, maybe this is AI. Maybe this is something else that we're not familiar with. Thank God we have independent researchers and contributors, and we can go back in history and look at these different things. But I mean, good God, I remember him specifically saying, yo, I'm not going to dedicate another dollar to building anything on the border. But now we sitting here talking about, oh, no, hey, guys, we going to have to act. This is important for us to address what's happening on the border. Now, I could be wrong here. I could be off. I could be playing things, and my mind could be playing tricks on me. But I remember specifically him saying, listen, we not building we not putting a dollar to it. We not putting a dime to it. We not doing anything on this border wall. We not allocating our agents to it or anything like that. And I'm just trying to familiarize myself with what's happening out here in these streets. What are we talking about? Under my administration, there will not be another set of a border wall ever. Okay? We're going to get there. Let's play a little bit more of his speech. We want to make sure that we all familiar and caught up with what happened in the past and then compare it to what's going on in the future. I don't got a lot of time to go through all of the things and the clips that I got of him saying that he was doing. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there.
Process for the government to consider asylum claims for those arriving on the border. Today, the process to get a decision on an asylum claim takes 5 to 7 years. Now, you all know it down here, but the people around the country don't understand it. It's far too long. You come in, you say I have a credible fear, and we've changed that standard to make it hard. We want to make it harder. And what happens? You say, well, okay, you can be in the country, but come back in 5 to 7 years, maybe as many as 8 years, and you'll get a hearing from before a judge to determine whether you can stay. This will encourage more people. This encourages more people to come to the country. If they get by the first, they got another 5, 7.
All right, so let me get this straight, because I want to make sure that I played it correctly. Give me a second, as I haven't heard this speech. This is my first time hearing it.
More people. This encourages more people to come to the country.
This encourages more people to come to the country. This encourages more people. This would encourage more people to come to the country. Okay, let me just play it one more time. I want to make sure we all on the same page.
Determine whether you can stay. This will encourage more people. This encourages more people to come to the country.
Is that what the people want? Border Patrol, open borders, encouraging more people to come to the country. Let me just play a little bit more. Listen, I'm not the sharpest knife in the tool shed. I just want to make sure that we all seeing this, because we had the professor up there trying to hold me accountable, and I'm hearing it directly from this man's mouth. Okay, let's continue.
They get by the first, they got another 5, 7, 8 years before they have to do anything, because they know they cannot handle the caseloads quickly, and they'll be able to stay in this country in the meantime. With new policies in this bill, and the addition of 4,300 additional asylum officers, we'll be able to reduce that process to less than 6 months. That would have a serious deterrent effect on those coming north. When the criminal gangs say, we'll get you north, what's $8,000? They say, no, wait, let me get this straight. I'm going to go north. It's going to cost me probably closer to $8,000, I guess, equivalent. And I'm going to get there, and in 6 months, they may be able to get rid of me. I don't know, man. 6 months, 7 years, two different things.
So he acknowledges that there's pay for play with the cartels. Okay, man. This guy is amazing. I just want to make sure that we all on the same page, because it's been a lot of people that's been holding me accountable. They said, Anton, we're voting for this guy because he has our best interests at heart. So first of all, he acknowledges that there's cartels making a lot of money, and who knows where the money is going, and we're not going to have that conversation, but neither here nor there. And he's understating the amount because there's been reports of up to $35,000 per person that they're paying to get here, not including the plane tickets and the flights that they've taken to get to the spaces that ultimately lead them down the path to be able to get to America in the first place. And now he's basically saying, listen, see students' perspective. Why would we want the cartels to get money when we can expedite the process by making sure that we invest more in the judges and people that can process these asylum seekers into the country to more effectively have them here legally? So it's not that he's trying to prevent people from getting in. What he's basically saying is we want more people coming into the country, but we want to just make sure that we spend more money processing them quickly so that they can get driver's licenses, healthcare coverage, social services, and all of the rights that you got here in the United States of America. And then we want to try to cut off the nose of the cartel from making as much money as they're making in order to get the people here. Yeah. I just want to make sure that we all on the same page.
The person who's thinking about entering the United States understands that cases to be decided in a few weeks or months instead of 5 to 7 years. They're less likely to come in the first place. They're not going to pay the cartels thousands of dollars to make that journey. Knowing that, it'll be turned around quickly. Look, then we also need more cutting-edge inspection machines to detect and stop fentanyl from entering the United States of America. A year ago, I stood at the border in El Paso, and I watched these machines at work. They were able to detect everything from fentanyl to weapons to people being smuggled in cargo containers. This compromise bill would provide an additional $424 million for 100 more of these machines and could save lives in the process. This compromise legislation will also give me, as president, or the next president, emergency authority to temporarily shut down the border between ports of entry when the numbers of immigrants and migrants, overwhelm the border, straining the Border Patrol's ability to process them. At the same time, at our legal ports of entry, like here in Brownsville, we're making investments in infrastructure. My bipartisan infrastructure law is going to provide nearly $4 billion new dollars to boost security, to ease waiting times at land and ports of entry like Brownsville. And I want to thank again Congressman Gonzalez for helping me get that through and get it passed as the law. That you get the money for example, that's how you got the money for the Gateway Bridge from that fund. Folks, the bipartisan border security deal is a win for the American people. And it's a win for the people of Texas, and it's fair for those who legitimately have a right to come here to begin with. It's a win.
And it's fair for those that legitimately have a right to come here to begin with. I want y'all to understand that they stick these little talking points in there, and they're really telling you what's really happening. And this is fair. What is fair? We're not talking about what's fair for the people that's already here, the American people. We're not talking about the 350 million people that's already American citizens. He's saying that, and it's fair for the people that have the right to come here. Talking about asylum seekers, sir?